All right. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
I still hear
Hey,
the echo.
we have a little echo.
we do. How about now?
Good.
Okay,
Good.
perfect.
Good.
Well, welcome everyone to the member experience upgrade with the Credit Union of Texas and BankSocial. Want to give everybody a little bit of time to join, but just for, a couple of housekeeping items, there's going to be a QR code that everyone's going to see in the top right-hand corner. So if you'd like to submit any questions, feel free to at any time, and we'll hold to answer between each of the sections. All right, great. So we have a lot of amazing people on the call. Some of them you may be familiar with. Let's just go ahead and go around, and if you guys could each introduce and what brought you to BankSocial.
Sure. I'll go first. I'm Liz Wininger. I'm EVP of Strategic Innovation and Growth here at BankSocial. And I came here this last spring. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're good.
Okay. This past spring from a CUSO that I was at for 12 years. I was the president and CEO. And so my heart is in credit unions. We worked with about 400 credit unions across the country and helped them with shared services. So I saw what was going on here at BankSocial and what the team wanted to create and who they are as people. And I just wanted to come be a part of it. So I am. John, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah. So John Wingate, CEO here at Bank Social. We've been working with the CUTX team now for probably just over a year. Is that right, guys? Is that about the right timeline? Yep, been working with the Credit Union of Texas team for about a year now, and it's been wonderful. I mean, just probably from a support the community perspective, from a forward thinking perspective, from a constantly innovating perspective, just one of the best partners that we've ever had the honor of working with. And so they keep us on our toes, and they keep challenging everything that we think and do, and we like to think that we do the same, and it's been just a fantastic partnership. So really excited to finally get to showcase what we've been working on together. Becky, over to you.
All right. Thank you, John. Hi, everybody. I am Becky Reed. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Bank Social. Of course, a longtime credit union veteran, CEO, former CEO, and right here in North Texas. So, Credit Union of Texas has been around as long as I've been in the credit union space. Of course, they were called something different when I started in credit unions. That's how long that I've been. Around Dallas Teachers was what it was called back then in the 90s when I joined credit unions. So really excited to get to work with them. They are doing some really inventive, yes, things, and we're excited to have them here with us today. Welcome, everybody.
Angela, do you want to go? Just point down,
There you
or
go.
or yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't
Angela.
point, Becky. That's the problem.
Oh,
Nobody knew
sorry.
who to
Sorry,
go next.
Angela.
You didn't
I was
point.
waiting for that. All right. Thanks for having us. My name is Angela Faust. I'm Chief Operations Officer here at the Credit Union of Texas. I just celebrated my 20th anniversary, so it has been a wild, fun ride. The last year has been very exciting with all of the regulation changes and our intro into digital assets. So we're really excited to be here and share everything we're doing with you.
Awesome. And I'm Eddie Army, the Chief Marketing Officer for the Credit Union. And I spent 20 years in leadership experience outside the industry, and 5 years ago was lucky enough to join the Credit Union of Texas, and I'm super excited to be part of it and part of our relationship with Bank Social as well. So back to you, Sara.
Wonderful. So I wanted to see every.
Is it me that's only having problems with
No,
Sarah, or is it
she's
everybody?
she's. If she's at the office, maybe the internet is not good there.
So we'll go ahead, and I don't know if Sarah's going to come back on here for a second, but we'll go ahead and oh, there she's back. Are you back, Sarah?
Yes. Can you guys
Awesome.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you keep
Okay.
freezing up.
I think it's the deck that I have here, but I just wanted to go ahead and kind of and tell me if I'm frozen. Just stop me.
Nope, you're good.
Good.
Okay, perfect. So to kind of give everybody we're going to go through a little, and there is going to
Yeah,
be
we're getting a
kind
lot
of
of freezing, Sarah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, maybe you could go to a different part of the office because I don't think it's the deck. I think it's you. You've been freezing the whole time.
Oh, I'm in the studio. That could be what it is. Okay, so I'm going to kind of, if you guys can take it for a little bit, and I will be back in just a second.
Can you put on, can you put on the,
Yeah,
maybe
put the
put on
deck
the,
up.
oh, you can't because it's going to be, so, okay, we'll do this for a second while Sarah gets back on. A little bit of technical difficulties, but that's all good. We know how to work through those, so we'll continue moving forward. So the idea today is to give you guys a little bit of insight into, the things we've been doing together, the way we've been innovating together. So gracious for CUTX to come on here and share some of the wins and the impacts and the results that they've been seeing around the board. And so the idea here is to outline those wins, outline the opportunities that we found together, that we innovated on together, and the types of results and the types of things that you guys are seeing that maybe are relevant to your membership, that maybe are relevant to other credit unions or other community financial institutions. I think yesterday we got a really exciting text from you guys that I won't give any real deep specifics, but that you're really starting to see a tremendous decrease in the number of outgoing deposit flows, and really the use of the system, right? So not just staving off those deposit flows, those real-time deposit flows, but you've brought that experience back in house. And maybe while Sarah is kind of looking at that, maybe Angela or Eddie, can you just share a little bit about, what that was like for you guys, what that experience has been like for you guys, and maybe just dive slightly more deeply into that. You don't have to share exact numbers. I know that those are maybe proprietary and secret, but please feel free to just kind of share whatever you feel comfortable sharing on that in that realm.
Okay, sure, I'll jump in. We've been keeping track of the data for quite a while, and in 2024, we saw the amount of funds going out to crypto exchanges skyrocket, and it has been increasing ever since. And last month, like you said, John, was the first month that we actually saw that decrease substantially. At the same time, our usage of the BankSocial platform increased substantially. So it was great to be able to see that offset, that our members really are making use of the technology.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Eddie, what about you from your perspective you focus, your main focus is member engagement, right? How do you get the member, how do you get the end user to really engage with the tools? What are you guys seeing from a engagement standpoint and an experience standpoint that kind of drives home some of what Angela was saying?
Yeah, the reality is that the level of engagement is in lockstep with the results, which is the most exciting part for us. So we're starting to see greater engagement around this platform, excitement about the platform, questions about it, and whether that's in the branch or online. And now we're seeing the results line up with that further engagement. So that's great to see, and we're really excited. I think this is really we're still at the starting line, right? But we're excited to see where we're headed.
Yeah, I think that's probably been the most staggering thing to us is that I know that we kind of together we leaned into this in a very measured way, right? So we launched in a very measured way. We increased availability in a very measured way. And now those measurements are starting to really help us understand just the level of impact and just the level of results. Let's step back so you kind of have a timeline here of things we wanted to go through. Oh, there you are, Sarah. Is that a little bit better? Oh, we got Sarah back. Yay.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep. You sound good now.
All right, perfect. Okay, so again, the QR code at any time if you guys want to drop in for questions. I may have missed what you guys just went over, but let's give a little bit of background. Did you guys go into the background of BankSocial, Credit Union of Texas?
We didn't. We really just we kind of went into some of the results they were seeing. But let's go ahead and back up a little bit and maybe look at that. I was yeah. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of why now? How did this happen? Credit Union of Texas and BankSocial coming together. From the BankSocial side, why credit unions? And maybe that can segue into what made sense for Credit Union of Texas to work with BankSocial.
Yeah, so really, it started for us, a few years ago, as led by our CEO. Really, a few of us got very curious about blockchain and Bitcoin and the transformational power that really existed there. So, we were really excited to dive into this. Sparked a lot of research among our team. We were trying to figure out ways to lean in to the disruptive nature of this technology. So ultimately, we realized that this could be an opportunity for our members and for our organization.
Yeah. And I think, what was really interesting is the first time I think I met with your executive team, Becky and I met with your executive team, you told us, and maybe Eric, your CEO, and I know Angela, you were there, Andy, I believe you were there too. But what was surprising to me was that this all started with him having you guys read the Bitcoin white paper, the Satoshi white paper. And that really helped cement, I think, what a great way
Mm.
for a credit union to start off with the fundamental understanding of why this technology came into existence, because I think it underscores the tieback. Decentralized finance really underscores the tieback to community finance, to credit unions, to cooperative finance, cooperative capitalism. There's an Eric. Kudos to you and your team and Eric, and because you guys really understood that, which I think helped you also understand some of the differentiators that BankSocial products brought to the market with the open connectivity, right? So, how many people have we seen that have completely stopped using third-party apps and moving those assets out, and they're starting to bring their Bitcoin back in? They're starting to bring their XRP and their other assets back in. So, yeah, that I thought that was a really cool way for y'all to start. Angela, what about you from a perspective of why now? And where your heads were at and where you think the market is now. Why do you think now is the time to really take this full force?
Well, again, I go back to the data. The data tells us that our members really want this. It's not a shiny object. It's not a fad. It's not going away. It truly is a product or service that our members are needing and wanting. So we wanted to make sure we could provide it to them in a way that was easy and safe. They trust us to be their financial service provider, so we want to give them access to all of those tools they need.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's kind of when we look at overall the perspective here of the embedded experience, the open embedded experience that you guys launched. We really saw an uptick, and I think also this month was the first month that you guys actually made. We actually paid you for launching our products. How cool is that? How many times are you able to say that a vendor actually paid you, that you improve the experience and you completely offset all your spend with us, and we were able to figure out a mutually beneficial relationship for everybody, for the credit union, for the members who own the credit union, for the vendor providing the solution, that's actually doing everything that it was set out to do, and has been set out to do. Members are redefining what connectivity means and what fast means and what their expectations are. I don't want to go in too much to because we're just now starting to implement our payment solution into your guys' system. So I don't want to go too deep into that. But certainly when it comes to the ability to buy instantly and sell instantly and have that open connectivity, you have that same thought process and that same mechanism where, when you do the Coinbase, have you guys, you do Coinbase, you send it to Coinbase, that takes a day or two, and then, you buy it, and then that money never comes back. Have you guys, and then people are having to manage their finances in multiple places. What have you guys heard from, the community's perspective, the members' perspective? I know maybe several of your closer, because the thing about a credit union is the members also to a degree run the credit union. You guys are all members as well, right? of the credit union. We are members as well. What are you hearing from the members? I won't tell you my experience. I'm a member and I have I use it, but what are you guys hearing from the membership on what they expect from these types of experiences?
Well, so members really want our app to be the center of their financial life, right? So they want to go to one spot where they can see and manage everything and do that in a frictionless way, right? So this is getting us far closer to that than we've ever been able to be before, and so we're hearing a lot of excitement about it. And we're adding more and more digital assets into the wallet, so that's really exciting as well. I think that to me is the biggest aha and the biggest win for our members today.
Yeah, I think Eddie nailed it with the word frictionless. That's what I hear from all of our member facing teams, is it needs to be easy. If it's not easy, they don't want to use it.
Yeah, I just
And
I
I
just
think
opened my account with you guys last week, and it was graceful. It was beautiful. Just as a serial credit union person, to open it, my husband and I were looking at it. I know I shared that with you guys earlier. A question that we get a lot of is around due diligence and policy. What our examiner is going to say. So what are a couple of the lessons that you guys learned in the past year as you onboarded and then going through the process?
Yeah, I'd say don't wait to do the policy work. Get it done up front. You don't want to be sitting across from an examiner and trying to figure it out then. That would not be good for anybody. And also, I think it's really important that you work closely with your vendor, right? So we've worked really closely with the BankSocial team to prepare our risk assessment, make sure everything's buttoned up, and we feel comfortable that we could sit across from an examiner with them and they could help explain all of the controls in the system and how it works and why it's a safe product for the member. So it's really important for us to have that relationship with our vendors. We feel it's more of a partnership, that we can come to you guys and say, hey, you know what, our examiners are needing this, this, and this, and they help us put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just add to that there's lots of different companies popping up in the digital asset and AI space, right? So you've got to pick one that has industry expertise and the runway to make it last, because the space is changing faster than ever before, and as they say, right, it's never going to be this slow again. So you got to really look at their roadmap and make sure that you understand where you align long term in the future, and make sure that you're looking at everything through the member experience lens, because these integrations and user experience, they can't be afterthoughts either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dovetailing off of that, and Eddie, this question is probably more geared toward you. When you, I've seen the education that you guys put together, and I don't know if it's like that across all of your products. I would assume so, but it was very, very robust. Can you tell us a little bit about the process of collecting that information, implementing it, how you chose what you chose to go into that documentation?
Yeah, so we certainly focused on having a lot of information, because this is a new space, and we were fortunate to be able to rely on BankSocial to provide some of those materials to us. But we didn't just take it off the shelf, right? We wanted to make sure that we understood how to customize it for our members, and then ultimately communicate it pretty frequently. And we really focused a lot on training our frontline staff first, so that they felt like they were prepared and confident to be able to address what we knew would be kind of inevitable questions from our members who are curious about this space.
Did they?
On that, I have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
I was just like, that experience with your frontline staff. Did they then go through the process of? I'm assuming they're all members, but going through the process of doing some trades and experimenting with it?
We encourage all of our employees to use all of our products, because if they don't use the products, they can't adequately explain to the members the benefits of them, right? Or how to use them, or maybe if the member's running into some kind of issue, it's harder for them to explain it if they've only gone through the training and don't actually use the product. So we always encourage all of our staff to do that. And there has been quite a bit of adoption from what we've seen.
Off the heels of that, one of the things that we wanted to make sure we provided to you guys is, an ability to lean on a white labeled full support team that acted as an extension of your financial institution to your direct to your member. Can you tell us a little bit about what the experience has been from the member perspective that you're hearing about? I mean, we certainly have our thoughts and opinions, and we can share that too. But what have you guys been hearing on the street about just we have that in chat support feature, right? Where if somebody has a question, and what we wanted to do was, even though your team should have that experience and know what it is and know how you use it to a high degree or to a very high level, they may not have that deep expertise to be able to help the member. What have you heard from the front lines on the in chat support and how we support the member directly when they reach out when they have an issue?
So I'll take that one. I haven't heard anything, which means it's going really well. Because if our members were getting bad service, that's the very first call I would get is, what are they doing to our members?
Right.
So again, our staff has given us feedback that our members are enjoying the use of the system, that it's very easy to use. And there's been no negative feedback on the support. So I have to assume the support has been very easy to use as well.
Yeah, I think we get people that reach out with questions.
We
just
just
more.
got someone is just chatting right now with someone from Credit Union of Texas is just chatting right now with our customer support team. So yep, they use
Yeah,
it.
I think we frequently get outreach. More questions, more just is this really self custody? Is this really? Can I really bring my Bitcoin in from Coinbase and bring it here? Those are more the kinds of questions that we get exploratory. But yeah, we pride ourselves on being customer service animals and just ensuring that the member gets that optimal white glove, white labeled, superior service that I know you guys strive to give to every single one of your members, and we want to make sure that we're also doing that from the support side that we can provide.
I have all the questions for Eddie and also and Angela, but one of the things I think about is, like, from a marketing perspective, just because that's where my brain goes, is that member journey. When you guys rolled this out, was it a big parade and press releases and big signs and billboards, or what did that look like for marketing for you guys?
So we really wanted to take a cautious approach to make sure that everything was seamless for our members. So we did a lot of testing on the front end, and then we did a soft launch of that, and we're now really to the phase where we're telling the world about it, right? So we've gotten great feedback all the way along the path, but it was critical to us to make sure we understood exactly how it was working and that members felt very comfortable with it. So like I said, we're now putting up the banners and throwing the parade.
I think one thing that was really interesting about it, and I'd love to just hear it from you guys on what your perspective was on this. But when we first launched, literally, I think you guys identified a couple, maybe like 400 or 500 people that were actively moving a lot of funds out. And all we did, right, was we turned on the card inside of digital banking and identified these 500 people and then just watched them, right? Really, really light on the initial go to market phase, really no touch, right? Eddie and Angela, I don't think you guys had sent out really any communication in the first 30 to 40 days, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
And so it was really staggering for me, at least, to see that we captured in just that first 30 days, like 400 to 500 users and hundreds of thousands of dollars in outflow with zero to little to no marketing. I mean, what is that perspective completely off? Maybe share your thoughts on how that rollout went and why you think it was so successful in the way we rolled it out, even with no or little to no marketing.
Yeah, that's really, it speaks to the level of curiosity that our members have, and we were able to recognize, and that's why we went down this path. But our members are interested in this, and if they're not going to get access to digital assets through us, they're going to go somewhere else. And so that's really why we're here. That's why it was so successful. Is the second that they saw it was available, they jumped all over it, right? Because that's the curious nature of this time that we're in, right? And it's very exciting to people. So yes, people jumped all over this very early on, and because the member experience is a great one in this process. It's really pretty frictionless and pretty simple to follow. They didn't need a whole lot of communication to tell them, hey, this is how this process works.
Awesome. Yeah. What about you, Angela? Any difference in thought there?
No, it's the exact same. I mean, we turned on the card and online banking, and it's amazing how quickly people found it. I think the very first day we turned it on, we had transactions. It told us that our members were hungry for it. They were ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really great. So what are we switching to now, Sarah?
Okay, perfect. I wanted to let you guys kind of go because there's so much really exciting information that you guys shared that I think would be interesting for some of the institutions that are tuning in. That soft launch without any marketing and just having it available and seeing that members are engaging with being able to buy crypto is, I think, very,
Oh,
very
let's talk. Yeah, let's. So Elizabeth is asking us a very specific question. I think maybe this is a good time now that we're in the middle of this. So asking about what services actually has have CUTX signed up for, and what we're talking about right now is our embedded investment solution, which you guys started with crypto. That's about to include stocks, all instant funding from account, instant buy and sell both ways. Also, the ability to bring those crypto assets in, to bring those, that Bitcoin in from outside. So that's a big. I think we've seen that as one of the coolest features that I've heard about on the streets. I can't tell you how many times somebody has walked up to me in our office building or at these events that we do, and they're like, "I have the Credit Union of Texas app, and I can move my crypto in." I'm literally, I'm serious. I'm not making that up. But in addition to that, there are some fraud mechanisms that I think we're really excited about that we've implemented together and worked on together to make this as robust as it can possibly be. Probably the most robust version of an embedded wallet that you could have. But then even some of the other stuff we've looked at together that we're looking at launching, like a reward system on top of that. I don't know if we want to go too far down into some of those paths or what we're looking at there, but certainly on the payment side too. But those are some of the roadmap items that we're looking at together. And right now, what we've been talking about, to answer Elizabeth's question, is that embedded investing experience, that direct from member account to the investment and then back into the member account in real time.
And to go to a question that we had a little bit ago, why now versus a year ago? What's changed in the landscape? I'm going to Becky and to John. Why is this important now versus a year ago for institutions?
You're talking
I
about
don't know
offering
that.
digital assets?
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
No,
Yes.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know that it's more important now than it was a year ago. I think Angela and Eddie and the team over at CUTX understood last year that this was important, and they really dug in and understood what the members were wanting. To Angela's point, they looked at the data, they understood what members were asking for. Maybe not verbally, but with data, you can learn a lot from data. And so I think it was important back then. It's maybe even starting to be more relevant. I don't know if importance really a word I would use to describe the change, but it's starting to become more relevant. I think if you looked last year at the amount of money, or if you looked at the last 5-6 years, the market cap of crypto hasn't gone up 20x in those 5-6 years. So I would venture to say that you've seen similar outflows. Maybe they've been ticking up, of course, just as the nature of any type of growth industry, but it's been important for years. And really now what we're talking about is it's probably just more relevant. More institutions are looking at it. And maybe that's why now versus this time last year, the innovative kind of leader type of financial institutions like CUTX were stepping into this because they understood the data, but now it's more relevant, which is why I think more people are leaning into it.
And I would just add to that, John, that I think it was it was important a year ago, and it's probably required now.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's right on. If you're not embedding a critical part of what is driving outflows of deposits, your members are telling you we want this stuff. I think that's why you guys leaned into instant payment systems with us as well, because you're seeing a very similar type of outflow of experience. Really forget for a second the money. I mean, that's one thing, right? The deposits are one thing, but when the experience leaves, that's a whole different thing, because now you've lost a portion of that member's time, that member's eyes, right? That they're coming in and using the app, they're engaging with the credit union, they're engaging with the product set. And so whenever you have that loss of experience, it's probably as detrimental or more detrimental than the deposit outflow, because next month, they'll get more money in, but as that experience leaves, that's really where you start to lose that engagement. And so I think you guys caught on very quickly that by bringing in that super app experience into your digital banking, you re-engage the member. And that's what we're really seeing is an uptick in engagement. I think we looked at some numbers where, and maybe you can share some, but we saw amongst the people who were using digital banking that we could see almost a tenfold increase in them coming back into the app daily versus just your average member. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts there or data points to share on that.
No, I think you have the right number. It's about a tenfold increase. So,
Yeah.
and I know once we launch the stocks all the way, I guarantee that's going to increase even more.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Becky, were you gonna ask a question, or I thought I saw something?
Yeah. So there's both credit union folks and crypto DeFi Web3 folks on the call, and I think that addressing community, because on the crypto side of the house, there's something to be said for community, right? There's communities of people that come together for a certain project or for a certain ideal, and there's communities of people online everywhere around the world. But credit unions started with community, and credit unions are founded on community. I talked about earlier, Dallas Teachers was how Credit Union of Texas got started, because a group of teachers came together and formed their own credit union. So talk a little bit about why a product like this is important to a credit union where community is a big part of what you guys do every day.
Yeah, so really, a lot of the founding principles of digital assets is really creating opportunity for everyone to get access to these tools, and so really we see being able to offer this inside of our app, inside of our institution, is really creating an opportunity for everyone to be able to engage in again what is a really exciting space, and something that everyone is very, very curious about.
Just
When
another question. Oh, go ahead.
when you guys were evaluating getting into this, what were those data points? Because it sounds like you're very data focused on obviously, like, everything is you're trying to decide what you're going to go with and why you're going to go that direction and if it's working. What were some of the data points that you guys took a look at before, and that you still are monitoring now, that credit unions should be taking a look at if they're trying to evaluate going into this?
Yeah, so we were looking at primarily where's the money going? Where's the outflow to? So are you doing external transfers to Coinbase or Acorns, or where exactly is that going? And how often, and what's the amount of those transfers, right? So we really keep an eye on that every month, just because we want to see the transition as we implement these tools. But it's really important to have a good understanding of exactly how much and where it's going. And we've started to see that whereas maybe one person had $500 a month going to Coinbase, now it's only $300 a month and $200 is staying here. So it's really good metrics. So data is extremely important with this product.
Yeah.
And then that digital engagement piece as well, right? So how often are they logging in? We know that the app is where we can get the most engagement with our members, and so the more often they're logging in, the more often we're able to share with them updates and other ways that we can help them.
Just to share, there were a couple questions, I think, from some Jack Henry credit unions. This is a plug-in card that we decided there's a number of ways to integrate it. I think, Angela, we tested several ways. Eddie, I know we were involved in some A/B testing early on with your internal teams, and we decided that the card plug-in, drove the most engagement because it brought the balances to the card. It brought the ability to kind of come in and have a quick view without having to drill down too deep. And so that's where we think we got the uplift in engagement and in repeat viewing of the homepage of the dashboard. And then as far as Angela, there's another little question here, and I think we do a lot of compliance and diligence up front. Becky was the first one to launch this platform several years back. And we went through all the regulator due diligence at that time and had a real big deep dive with them. And we shared a lot of that diligence with you guys, and the letters that we got from the NCUA that are generally available out there to kind of just hone in what the guidance is around what's acceptable, what's not. Maybe talk a little bit about that part and engaging with us on that diligence and just the comfort you felt about what we provided you, and the structure of how we put together our program and how it adhered to that guidance and regulation.
Yeah, I think, like you said earlier, John, we've been working together pretty solidly for about a year, but I think it was even a year before that I had initially reached out to BankSocial and started talking to Becky, and really learning all about the space and the steps you guys had taken to build this out so it was fully compliant with the regulators. Like any of us know, due diligence is important. And while I love you guys are great partners, we couldn't just take it for face value, right? So we had to do our RFP. We had to meet with multiple vendors, run the traps. And what we found is that with some of these other vendors that we evaluated, we were kind of left on our own to try and figure some of these things out. It wasn't as easy as picking up the phone and calling and saying, hey, Becky, we have this question. How would you address this? With some of these other vendors, we really had to dig in. And at one point, one of the vendors just flat out said, yeah, we can't give you that information. And it's like,
Don't say their name. Don't say their name.
I'm not. I won't. I was like, they're like, we can't give you that information. I was like, okay, well, then we're at a standstill because I need transparency for my examiners when they come in and look at this program. They're going to want all of the information, and I have to be able to understand it to give them that. So, really, again, it was, I guess, about 2 years ago when I started talking with Becky and going through all of the documentation and everything you guys had pulled together. Yeah, I mean, it's been a good experience. I think at one point I asked for every single document you guys have, the architecture and everything, and y'all shared with me everything you could. And we put all of that together and built out our risk assessment. So when our examiners come in, usually in January or February, they'll have everything nice and buttoned up for them. So thanks. Y'all made it easy compared to some of the other folks we talked to.
Well, thank you. I think Becky and I, we pride ourselves on, being a part of not only the regulated space, talking to regulators, engaging frequently with regulators, across the board, from the NCUA to the OCC, the FDIC, the SEC. We always want to make sure that we are as lockstep with the regulators as can possibly be, of course. And then any of the interpretive stuff that comes out, even to the point of being involved with the initial crafting of some of this guidance and some of this regulatory language, even some of the law that has recently come out with the Genius Act and now with the Clarity Act. So really, that's what we love doing, is ensuring that not only we deliver great experiences, but we deliver experiences that can last and that can stand up to the regulatory scrutiny that eventually comes along. Because no matter what you do, I mean, you implement a new reward service, right? And it's going to be part of your whatever the auditors come in and look at, whatever the examiners come in and look at. So you just got to be ready regardless of what tool you put in place. And we love making sure that you guys are prepped with a great experience for the member, but also a great experience for your team when they, like you said, you can just drop the diligence files on and say, ask us anything you want, we're ready.
Great. So
I think from a regulator perspective, for for those credit union folks on the phone, I think, certainly having a good partner is important, but actually understanding, and that's really what Eddie and Angela are saying, right? That they needed to understand. Now, do they need to understand 100% all the technology and how exactly it happens behind the scenes? No, not necessarily. But when a regulator comes in and asks you, what is this product? You should be able to articulate an answer that makes sense and not just say, go talk to the vendor, right? And so I think that is something that is important with any vendor relationship and examination, that you do understand. And so, because when a regulator's standing next to you and they're asking you about the risks, if you're able to understand it and say, we address this, we looked at this, we looked at that, then that gives them a sense of comfort to know that you really did look at all of those things. And so that's something that we definitely make a priority here at BankSocial, having come from the regulated space. So both of us, actually.
And you walked in their shoes.
All right, what else?
You've done that before, right, Becky?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been in Angela and Eddie's shoes.
Well, for more than one thing, right, Becky? Not just for this, but a myriad, from payment systems to core conversions to investments to you. I mean, we've been a part of kind of it from a myriad of different perspectives and different avenues, which is why we really think that that's one of the most important parts of a successful program, is understanding the post the post go live compliance and regulatory positioning.
Yeah.
Great. So we have about, we're kind of at time, but I wanted to encourage anybody that wanted to send in questions to still do so, even if we wrap up. But if you guys can all take this question, what steps can institutions take now? And if not, what steps can they take now? What advice do you have for them to get started with digital assets?
Can I start?
Yes.
I said, even if you're not ready to take a step forward and jump in yet, be curious, learn, educate your leadership team, educate your staff. It doesn't matter if you agree that digital assets are important or not. They're here. Your members want it. They're out there buying it. Be curious, familiarize yourself with it, learn about it so that you are ready to make a move when the time comes.
Yeah, and I would just reiterate that, look at the data. I think you'll find that your members are very likely pretty curious about this, and you can see that curiosity in the outflows today. And so listen to your members and listen to your employees who are hearing directly from those members about their curiosity here, and see why this is such an important space to pay attention to. And this is where we're headed, right? So we got to be prepared for it, and be ready to serve our members and the communities that we're lucky enough to be in front of.
I'll go, and then I've got to jump off. But I think I'll just echo everything, or just everything that those two said right there. They've had an extremely successful rollout. They've changed behavior of members substantially. I would heed the advice that they are going after, that they are giving you guys right now, because it has turned into success, the impacts, the results, and the outcomes that they had predicted, that we had all predicted, that we had put out as the measurable outcomes, and that turned into those results on the other side, following and make sure that all those things that we set out to do, from ensuring it's a great experience, to ensuring it's regulatory compliant, to ensuring that it's the type of behavior and the type of outcomes they want. So I think you go back through this video and just listen to what Angela and Eddie are talking about, take notes on that. And that's how you're going to have a solution that really aligns with what you're seeing, the data you're seeing, and how you can craft that data into a memorable experience for the member.
Yeah, when we say educate yourself and your leadership, this is not a shameless plug for Becky, but when I joined BankSocial, I'm not from this space, and so I've had a lot of catching up to do. So I've read through her book at least 3 times. I listened to it actually, but each time I'm picking up new pieces in there. So if you're saying, hey, what do we do to educate? Well, I would start with credit unions and DeFi. We'll send you, I'll buy them for you and send you copies if you're looking to do it. It is a great resource to get started. And I wrote down all of those words that I hadn't used in my regular vocabulary before. Then I started and I joined the community, the BankSocial community, which I'm sure that we have I've seen the questions from a ton of people on here. But as you read that book, you'll understand the similarities between the two worlds, between the crypto space and our community and all the communities and credit unions and how they dovetail so well together. And then I joined Credit Union of Texas. So I joined Credit Union of Texas last week, and that has my husband and I, like I said, we've been playing around with that and just understanding that experience. So those are the easy steps. So I'll hand it over to Becky for closing that part out.
Well, I think in the last 3 months, I have spoken just myself. John has spoken to more than just me, but 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people since the Genius Act passed, whether it's individual boardrooms and executive teams, either in person or virtual, but also at many conferences that I've been at where I've spoken to crowds of people. And this list right here came from those talks that I have with folks. And for on the credit union side of the house, I really encourage you to buy some crypto yourself. You can download the BankSocial wallet, and you can buy some crypto if you're in one of the 22 states that we operate in. Or you can move crypto into the wallet that you already have somewhere else. So if you have a Coinbase account or a Kraken account or something like that, you can do that. But once you see how it actually works, then it's not so mysterious anymore, right? It doesn't seem scary. Heck, open an account at Credit Union of Texas and buy some, and see how easy it is. And so I really encourage folks and even board members, guys, to understand this. You would be surprised when I ask people to raise their hands in boardrooms how many have actually bought crypto themselves. The Credit Union of Texas board is buying from the BankSocial app embedded in their digital banking experience. So it's something that is here to stay, like Angela said, but use it and just see what it's like. And it's not a scary experience once you actually use it yourself.
And that was one of the questions that just came up in the chat is, if I don't reside in the state of Texas, the region of Texas, can I join CUTX? And we get those questions about CUTX because we talk about them quite a bit all the time from our very, very active and large community. So Eddie or Angela, how can they join CUTX?
So we do have a relationship with an association. So if you don't live in one of our counties, you can still join the credit union. You would just have to make a donation to DFW Humane Society, and then you can join the Credit Union of Texas.
Nice.
Great. Well, that was
So you can join, everyone.
exactly. That was going to be kind of our last question, but I do want to encourage everyone to send in any questions, even after the fact. We'll follow up with a nice kind of package where you guys can rewatch this video and you'll have a roadmap. I just wanted to thank Credit Union of Texas. Thank you guys so much for coming on, Angela and Eddie.
Thank you, guys.
The BankSocial team.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well, this was great, and hopefully see you guys on the next one. Make sure to follow Credit Union of Texas and join if you can. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Sara.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.